Good morning, everyone, and welcome to Lawdog Sports, the reunited edition with myself, Chuck Ramsey, the Lawdog, and ruler of the airways, Jeremy Schroeder. Hi, old friend.
What is happening?
Man, you're looking at it, and this is my fifth morning of freedom away from grind of a daily sportscast on a radio station. So
Now it's just semi-retirement.
Yeah, it's semi-retirement, doing what's fun and just the getting to know so just in full disclosure, we'll just kind of break this all down. We stepped away from the podcast on a regular basis in 2022. I think April 2022. We called it our final episode. We did some stuff on Saturday nights, college football wraps and things like that, beer soaked,
Yes.
So it was fun. But so anyways, the keeping up with a daily sports cast on a small market station was really time consuming. So it was hard for me to do this on top of everything else. It was great. It was fun. It was cool to get to know so many of the coaches and players and cover some events. But I had to step away. It was just a little too much for me at this age that I am, and being retired from a former career. So, and what I found, Jeremy, was, and I'm terrible at time management. So what I found is that, the time to set aside for doing things was really hard to find. And so yours truly would get distracted and just really kind of be all over the place. And then things would be due and you have to crunch. And I've always been a procrastinator. So, anyways, Marty Wandry checked in from Clinton Liquor. So hi, Marty. And he called me an old fart. So that's always nice. I think my age. So suck it.
Spitting truth in the morning.
That's right. But so,
that is the curse of the lifelong hourly employees. It's like, I've got all day to do this, right?
it really is.
And then you get out in the real world and it's like,
Oh,
man, these people expect things timely. Wow.
Now, lifelong hourly employees, are you just, is that a blanket statement for government?
Yes.
Yeah, there's a lot of truth to that. Shift work was always interesting because you just, you went to call or handle things as they came. But yeah, any sort of regular 9 to 5 government job is we can get to that next week. Don't worry. But so anyways, I love talking sports with my partner Jeremy Schroeder, and we started back in 2018. And man, we managed through trades within the local sports franchise and debacles on the college football field, and then a pandemic, or as half of our viewers would say, the pandemic. But
don't tell Corey that.
No,
we also survived Corey.
Yeah, exactly. And I actually paid tribute to Corey Hogue a little bit on the revamped lawdogsports.com website. Kenny McGuire, you brought it up. At my age, being retired, we all knew you was old. Yeah, so it's take your shots at the Law Dog Day. That's fine. Kenny McGuire, a great insurance agent out here in Western Oklahoma. So, but we made it through the pandemic, and then we just couldn't survive me working a full-time gig. So it was just one of those things.
It's always something.
It's always something. But like I said, we didn't completely fade away. We did our Saturday night college football recaps, and didn't we do an episode?
Right, we did your odd episode on. We did a Super Bowl preview, I believe.
Yeah,
right? We haven't talked since the Super Bowl,
and I probably did that just for you and the Chiefs.
Yeah.
But the time since that episode, up till now has flown by faster than Rashee Rice in a Lamborghini.
You know, it's okay. It's okay. Chiefs signed Hollywood Brown.
Oh yeah, yeah.
Gonna grab a bust receiver from Texas in the draft. It's gonna be
Hey,
fine.
we'll get into some combine and that stuff later, but since you brought that up real quick, just to touch on it, I think I'm going to buy stock on Adonai Mitchell. I think that guy has what it takes.
I would say, yeah, I think he's a better prospect than Xavier Worthy.
Yeah,
I don't like the guys who are just all speed. We've seen that it never works.
Yeah, yeah. Hey, Dan Narva, our super fan from Michigan,
Oh,
in. Hey, I saw the fresh info on the Lawdog website. Thank you, Dan, for being the one. And but no, Dan, I talked to Dan earlier in the week, and we're probably going to try to incorporate him into the program a little more because I'm telling you, if you want any background on American League Central baseball, that's the guy. I mean, if you follow him on Twitter, and I'll have to ask him eventually what the Billy the Mountain is in reference to. But if you follow him on Twitter, Dan Narva will basically fact check anybody about any sort of AL Central, host, or especially Detroit Tigers, obviously.
oh my gosh, the Tigers, the White Sox, the Royals, oof, the Twins.
Yeah,
Twins are in the Central, yeah.
yeah,
Ooh,
it's been pretty
okay.
cool. And it used to be the Brew Crew there.
Yeah, the Brew Crew. Now they're in the National League. Gotta love realignment.
Yeah, yeah, and Rangers started off their season, so there's so much to get into, and we'll kind of just recap everything. It's kind of like one of those, Jeremy. I would describe this as one of those episodes that they run before like a new season in sitcoms or things. It's
A pilot.
it's like a recap, just
Sure.
what you missed up until now. So, having said that, and I already threw out the Rashee Rice reference. The Chiefs did bring in Hollywood Brown.
Yeah, they did.
That was, I mean, take off your Sooner colored glasses. His performance in Phoenix wasn't quite what people expected, but that's kind of a dumpster fire there.
Well, let's put him with an elite quarterback.
Yeah, yeah.
See what he can do. Um, his drop rate was far lower than anything Kansas City put on the field last
Oh
year.
yeah, yeah.
So
And Mecole Hardman, how he became the guy to catch a winning touchdown in the Super Bowl was just kind of beyond me.
well, with a guy like Pat Mahomes, all you gotta do is catch it and fall down. The most important thing is just catch it.
Yeah, but that's what I mean. I mean, Hardman's like humbilitis and panhands all together. But no, I'm going to get out of this. Well, no, I'm good. But the thing about the Rashee Rice deal is I watched the press conference with his with his lawyer from yesterday, and it was West and Associates or something big. I'm sure big law firm down there in Big D. And so this is a kid that went to school at North Richland. Obviously was probably a 3 or 4 star. Went to SMU. I mean, I didn't look up his recruit ranking, but I mean, he would have been there during the. He would have been on that team that who was it Austin? Wasn't Austin Kendall? It was who was the former OU
Tanner Mordecai.
Tanner Mordecai, and then also the tight end.
Calcaterra.
Now is he back or is
he plays for the Eagles now?
Who's the tight end that left and is now back at OU?
Oh, you're talking about Stog.
Stogner. Oh,
yeah,
he's South Carolina.
Yeah.
Okay.
He's gone. Yeah, his only other offer, well, he had, I guess the last offer he was considering before he signed with SMU was Virginia.
Okay. So he was probably a 3 to borderline 4-star recruit, I guess. He
held offers from Nebraska, BYU, New Mexico, Boise, Colorado, Cal,
So wouldn't that be a range of three stars?
3 to high, maybe a high 3.
Sites. Yeah. So having said that, he's real. While you got that picked up, where did they draft him?
He was a third round pick
So he
or
obviously,
second
I mean,
round,
I
second round.
remember a little bit about him in at SMU just because we paid attention to the ponies a bit. But I mean, he's on a Super Bowl winning team. He's got, a rookie deal. He's not on a big contract.
No.
You know, and I'm so tired. It's just such a cliche, Jeremy, to just that lifestyle of me and my crew and
Mm-hmm.
the fast cars, and we're gonna drive like idiots and stuff. I mean, I know they're kids in a way. They're 23. I did stupid stuff when I was 23, but my gosh, man,
Well,
break the
oh,
mold.
okay. The Etienne kid that transferred from Florida to Georgia.
Yeah.
As soon as he got to Georgia, well, he just jumped in the University of Georgia racing crew and
Yeah.
got picked up for what, reckless driving, DUI.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. And so, and I didn't watch the entire press conference, but and you couldn't hear the reporters' questions, but I would pray that some question was asked, what's the answer to the allegations that guns and possibly drugs were being removed from the car? And granted, that's one eyewitness. You could defend that all day without video. But the thing
Sure.
is, I mean, was there any? He said he's cooperating completely with the
Well,
and then
I hope he's cooperating because it was really stupid what he did.
yeah, and then on top of that, he's basically saying we're going to make it right by the people who were injured and harmed in the accident. So we're going to
Sure.
pay the money, and then we're going to plead to a misdemeanor. That's how I
Mm-hmm.
see that. My
And
question
they'll
to
probably get
you,
traded to the Raiders.
well, that's what I was going to say. What's the Chiefs' next step?
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know. They put up with much worse from Tyreek Hill. Also, there was much more reward from Tyreek Hill.
Yeah. Well, I mean, to me, yeah, the reward from Tyreek Hill was big until that one Super Bowl that the Bucks just crushed them because
Well,
he seemed to
yeah.
forget how to, you know,
Catch the football?
yeah, and
That's okay. He's busy playing for a mediocre team in Miami, but he's getting a lot of targets. So
yeah. So enjoy that cash. Well, and so having said that, I mean, and this is kind of and I know we're getting off into a wormhole here, but it was just so keen to jump into off of my awesome joke. Uh, the thing about the whole Rasheed Rice story is kid straightens up, kid gets it figured out. Somebody's going to rehab him and his career somewhere. And
sure.
I said this about Joe Mixon. Joe Mixon could have been cut from the OU Sooners the night that thing happened, and somebody else would have picked him up. A lot of
Uh-huh.
programs that were talking about how they wouldn't keep a player like that would have went and got him.
Sure.
you know. And so the one thing I will say about Bob Stoops on that whole situation was he dictated the narrative. Kid's going to get a second chance. He's going to get it here. Will the
Yeah.
Chiefs do the same thing with Rasheed Rice? Is he worth it?
At this point, I don't see where he's been in trouble before with the law. I may be wrong. I don't have I
No,
don't
the
I
attorney
wouldn't even,
the attorney said that he has not. So you
you
know,
know, then I would expect for him to, whatever punishment the NFL hands down to him, to be suiting up for Kansas City for the remainder of his contract as long as he keeps his nose clean.
yeah. And within each team, there's got to be some sort of parameters set up for being able to have growth, I guess. But
Yeah, these are
but
all. He's
I, I
still a kid.
I guess I just wish that somebody could get to them before and just say, what driver training do you have to handle
Just
the lamb? Yeah, shake.
just shake them. What are you
It's
doing?
like what kind of driver training do you have to be able to truly control those type of vehicles? And
Well, because he 1,000,000% caused that crash.
oh yeah, it looked like they were on the far left shoulder trying to pass,
Uh-huh.
race, and so but they did say he was behind the wheel of the Lamborghini, so kudos to him for taking the better car, I guess.
Euro trash.
Might as well be in a Fiat.
That's right. Fix it again, Tony.
Fix it again. Ford. Ford. So, anyways, off of Rasheed Rice and on to more pressing things. And one thing that Jeremy that we will delve into deeply, and we might wait until we have a third party because it always gets involved because I-35 is in play. But two teams along the I-35 corridor here south of the south of the I-70 are looking at NBA playoff runs. Two out of the three on I-35. The third
Yep.
being up there in Minnesota, which that's way north, or the fourth.
Minnesota. Yeah.
But San Antonio's out, Dallas and Oklahoma City. Oklahoma City clinched theirs. Dallas is probably not far away. You know, it just depends on if the league will want to give LA a big run at the end to get them a higher seed. I don't know.
Oh, of course. Let's see. LA is sitting at they're a half game out of the 8th seed.
Right now, the fight's for sixth, right, or seventh.
Well, I mean, Denver's a half game out of first. Oklahoma City's a game out of first. And
How many
yeah,
games is LA out of like the third and fourth? Or how many?
LA LA is eight and a half games out of the third spot.
Okay,
So
so
they're not getting there.
they're not getting there. So
They're going to be in the play-in.
yeah, and it seems to be where they reside. You know, the last couple of seasons, but they do get on enough of a run that they eliminate some other playoff team, and did they eliminated Golden State last year, right?
I believe so, and then they got eliminated, swept in the first round. Did they not?
Was it a first round sweep on Denver?
Yeah, the Nuggets just
I
drug them.
thought it was second round, but I may be wrong.
I don't remember. I didn't watch much playoffs last year after the play-in tournament.
Golden. Okay, so yeah, it's a good question. I don't know, but my question for you would be, and this is where your Oklahoma City Thunder come into play. Do is this the season that they set it up for LA to make a long playoff run? Because
I
ratings
don't
would
think.
be involved. You know, the talking heads from the left coast will be saying that you're not going to draw ratings with Denver or Oklahoma City or Minnesota.
But can they? Can Anthony Davis stay healthy?
He's been healthy a majority of the
I
season.
mean, it's a terrible matchup for Oklahoma City. So I mean, I do not want Oklahoma City to see the Lakers
No,
at
and
all.
really, they're a terrible matchup for about everyone but Denver.
Okay, so yeah, I guess I just completely I blanked out. Uh I denied. I'm in denial about the Lakers actually making a playoff run. They made it to the conference finals last year.
Is that where it?
They
So
got swept.
it was conference finals that they
Yeah,
made.
they beat the Grizzlies in the first round. And they beat the Warriors,
Oh, okay,
and then they got swept in the conference finals by the Nugs.
okay. Well, I thought that the Warriors were in there, and then I thought, well, the Warriors dispatched the Kings, but I had lost track. But I knew they got swept by Denver. I just forgot which round. So conference finals. So in reality, that's a banner for LeBron. I mean,
Sure, anytime you well, no, if he made it to the finals and got swept, it'd have been a banner.
yeah.
Probably would have, had rings made.
Oh yeah, yeah.
That would have been 9 losses in the finals had they made it.
Yeah, and really, if you want to get real, that I still go back to that 2014 Spurs series where it took a miracle by Ray Allen to win it in 2013, and then the Spurs
Mm-hmm.
trucked them completely in 2014. But
Man,
so anyway, my question is, we know the league is scripted. There's no way.
yes.
And I go back, and I don't just say that now. I go back to when I was a kid, and like the Milwaukee Bucks would take the Celtics to 7, and then Game 7 would be a Sunday afternoon game on CBS, and there was no way on earth at all that the Bucks would pull one off ever.
Well, no, not with Larry and the Celtics.
Well, just regardless. I mean, it's like playing at Fog Allen. You're not coming out of there to
Wow.
win.
I'm glad Oklahoma's never going to have to play at Fog Allen again.
Yeah, but OSU has to now.
You know what? I don't care about them.
Oh god. So but anyways, here's another thing. Clippers pulled off a nice win over Denver last night
They
without
did.
Kawhi Leonard.
Wow, Kawhi Leonard's hurt again.
He was out last night.
He's hurt again. Let me guess. Right knee soreness.
I think he did have a brace on. So
Hmm.
yeah. But PG3, he had a great night. And Russell Westbrook was active. I mean, you talk about getting the band back together. I mean, God.
Sure, but PG's going to be, and he's going to play well until the playoffs starts. That's been his bugaboo is when the lights are the brightest. He just cannot. Outside of one series when he was a young player, he just has not been able to make anything happen to the playoffs.
Yeah. Kawhi Leonard is out tonight against the Jazz, and it is a knee.
There you go.
Due to a knee. PG carried that team in the playoffs last season. I mean, got him as far as not.
I guess that's true.
I mean,
I'm still bitter because he did nothing here 2 years in a row.
well, I mean, the script didn't call for it.
I guess.
So, anyways, but I just the NBA, and we've talked about this before. It's just I don't know. I watched a bit last night of the Denver Clippers game, but there's a reason NCAA women's basketball is kicking everybody's butt, and it's because people have weariness and fatigue.
People just tune in to see what Kim Mulkey's going to wear.
You know it, bud. Going that Ginger Grant leather or feather lace thing along the back shoulder. Um, have you seen clips of Kim Mulkey when she was a player at La Tech?
I have not.
I didn't realize she was 5'4".
Yeah, I
She
mean,
must have 9-inch platform heels on.
you could tell she's pretty tiny, but yeah, I mean, she's really toned it down as far as the outfits go. I mean, you remember some of the things she wore at Baylor.
Oh yeah, yeah. Well, the green the other night, or what, Sunday when they lost, or set
Yeah, Masters Green.
Masters green. That was a bold choice in a way, but bold
But
by
there's been one thing that every one of her teams have had in common since she was at Baylor. Everyone loves to watch them lose.
yeah. She cast that villain persona over her squad for sure. Um, you want to jump into this NCAA women's tournament since I threw it out there?
We can a little bit. Just know that I only watched a couple of games.
Well, I'm just going to say this, and the hot points is really all I care about. I mean, I think we all know South Carolina's it's theirs. I mean, they've got they've got a lot of skill, and
Is
it's
that Carolina, Iowa is the final?
more than likely. I mean,
Yeah,
it's state. I mean, Connecticut, they're good. Gino Ariama, all that.
yeah.
I mean, if Caitlin Clark really is on a heater like she was against LSU, then you can probably book them in the final. I just don't know that a team like Iowa would have the horses to stay with South Carolina.
Yeah, I mean they kind of took it to LSU, and LSU is a very athletic team.
Yeah, it just depends. I mean, and in my time of calling high school basketball, you have kids that just go off one night, and even though they're good shooters, some nights it just doesn't fall.
Yeah, I mean, but
We'll see.
the
And that
Clark girl's got track record. I mean, that's her game. She is a
But
great shooter,
that's the thing about the three ball is, I mean,
great equalizer.
it's a great equalizer. It's a
Man,
great
you can
great
lose a game
debilitator.
shooting them.
Yeah.
Yep.
But so having said that, I thought it was interesting all week, especially after the LSU post game. With all of the talk.
Stop it.
Well, I'm just saying, and you'll be surprised by my opinion on this deal. But after I just thought it was super interesting that first Emmanuel Acho takes exception with Angel Reese's post game and says she can't bark like a bad dog, and then or
Uh-huh.
something to that nature. Just
Yep.
can't be big and bad, and then all of a sudden turn into Courage the Cowardly Dog. Which, hey, kudos for the Courage the Cowardly Dog reference. That's top shelf in my book, and I
That
can't.
is. That is.
But so, anyways, he comes out and says, if you want to be if you want to be the villain, you can't turn around and start crying that you're the victim or the villain. So I get that. I get what he said. I kind of knew what was going to happen. So if I told you one media personality decided to take him to task and not be quite so rough on Angel Reese, who would you think it would be?
Jamel Hill.
Nope. Oh,
Oh.
she's a, what is she?
Oh, I'm sorry. I'm sorry. Let's see. You probably Stephen A.
Oh yeah, yeah. And
There you go.
it wasn't on First Take. I didn't catch First Take, but there was a Twitter post of him talking and taking exception with Emmanuel Acho. So
It just seems to me like these kids, and I'm not just going to pick on Angel Reese. What she did was unfortunate, tragic, ridiculous. She should have just said, they were the better team. That's it. You're done.
yeah,
No excuses. It's the LeBron James school of excuse making. Oh, we didn't have enough pieces. My team's not good enough. I need more guys around me to win this. That's why I have 27 losses in the finals.
yeah. Well,
Back in the back when we were kids.
yeah. I'm just going to go out and say that in this modern era of social media, and you think about some of the and according to Acho, and I haven't heard her say this by quote, but according to Acho, she's self-proclaimed villain. And if you play for Kim Mulkey, that's kind of your persona. I mean, it's
Yeah.
it's going to be associated with you. But the thing I noticed is you know, and this is where I might surprise you is, um, you do take a beating social media wise as any sort of personality, and you do have wingnuts out there that fire off threats and talk all kinds of terrible stuff. Maybe it's a bot, maybe it's a real dweeb sitting behind the keyboard. Um, I found that this season I had after I was pretty outraged with the trash talk last year and the victory because it was excessive. I mean,
It was. It was.
and you couldn't compare it with what Caitlin Clark did to celebrate her three balls or what, or the whole thing.
The John Cena.
Yeah, exactly.
Can't see me.
But, it was excessive. But I mean, a lot of that could be people being triggered by seeing a black woman do that to a white woman. You have to say that there's probably a lot of people that just triggers them. Mine
Sure.
is just the sportsmanship take. I don't, whatever.
Uh,
But as it
yeah.
went along, and I kind of saw the situation, and I saw, well, they just won a national title, and then she came back, and I thought, she really kind of is all that in as far as the college game. Now, I'm not a WNBA scout. I don't know what her potential is in the league or how that works or anything, but I thought that as far as where they're at right now, she had a major role in bringing about this whole buzz that's going on with the college tournament, the women's college tournament.
You're talking about Reese,
Yeah, Angel Reese. I
right?
don't know
Well,
Caitlin Clark's had the big season, but if not for Angel Reese's antics, I guess you could say, in last year's final, and then her branding, I guess you could say, then you don't have this buzz now, I don't think.
yeah, and a lot of this, and you're right, and you're right. There's a lot of sides to this. A lot of it has to do with when they did win last year.
Yeah.
All of a sudden, she was everywhere. She's hanging out with rappers. She's doing this. She's doing that. And then all of a sudden, she has like a 1.4 GPA and gets suspended.
Yeah.
Yeah, she brought all that on herself, you
Yeah.
know,
Well,
and the poor sportsmanship, and that unfortunately, that's just the world we live in now.
well,
How
sure.
many bat flips did you see last night? You
Huh?
watched some baseball? How many bat flips did you see last
Oh,
night?
yeah, we can get into
And I
that.
guarantee you, the next time that dude come up, he didn't catch one in the ear because, well, I
No.
don't want to miss 5 starts for that.
Yeah. Yeah, and so and we can get off on the whole baseball, you know, commissioner gig and all that stuff. But so my thinking is I don't see, as far as I'm concerned, I don't see that Angel Reese really was that big of a victim or villain. I keep the V words, villain. I mean, she's a kid for one thing,
Uh-huh.
and then she plays for a coach who kind of instills that.
Yeah, we are reflections of our leadership, and Mulkey is just a dreadful person.
Mhm. And then it would be hypocritical to look back at some of the celebrations and taunting of the football of our youth, on Owen Field back
Hmm.
back in the wishbone days. I mean,
I mean, like when what was it? Bosworth picked up Gaston Green by the back of his pants and drug him 5 yards
that
off
one,
the
yeah,
pile.
sure.
Yeah.
So I mean, it's just, and therein lies social media, but we all know the ills of social media. But so I look at this whole Angel Reese women's basketball thing a whole lot differently than I did a year ago, because a year ago I just saw one game kind of in a vacuum, because that was really the only game that I caught all season, other than some OU games or something like that. But it's just I kind of have a different perspective on it. And on top of that, Jeremy, you mentioned the GPA. Why is LSU women's college basketball required to go to class?
They didn't go to play school, right? In the words of Cardale Jones.
Tell me Cardell was wrong.
I'm telling you. I
I
mean,
mean,
NIL and everything has changed. It's not. It's amateurism is dead.
how many classes did Bryce Harper ever get suspended, or how many games did Bryce Harper ever get suspended for missing class?
You talking about that year he went to JUCO when he was
I'm talking
17?
about just not, just going straight to the pros.
Well, he didn't have to. Well,
Uh,
he did.
how many-
He did play a year in college.
did he?
You'll remember. Yeah, he
How
got his
about
G. He dropped
Strasburg?
out of high school. He got his GED.
Oh, okay.
He went and played at a JUCO in Nevada for
Okay.
a season, and then went in the draft to the
Strasburg
Nationals. And
Strasburg go straight from high school?
Strasburg pitched at Stanford, sir.
Okay, gosh. Well, I mean, there are guys that go straight from high school to the
Oh,
minors.
sure,
I mean,
yeah, yeah.
I picked two terrible names, but that's just right off the top of my head.
Trying to think of the last great player that like Griffey Jr. was. He didn't play anywhere in college.
I always think Archie Bradley didn't when he or did he go to OU?
I don't
Broken Arrow kid,
recall.
I think.
Yeah. Oh, okay. Uh, I don't. I think he did go straight in because he was like a first round pick.
But so anyway, my point is why should they even be thought of as student athletes? Because it's we
Because NIL dollars for women's basketball, baseball, anything but football are just they're getting pennies on the dollar for what the football
sure,
guys are getting.
sure,
So they're not making any money.
no money to talk
No
about
monies.
money.
Is this the Chuck and Jeremy show?
If you don't want to talk about money, it's John Matthews. And folks, let me tell you, if you see John out there and he's not buying drinks, something missed.
Hey, you get a drink, you get a drink, you get a drink. I'm Oprah. Anybody needs a drink, I'm here to support.
Are
John,
you leading the highway patrol on a high speed chase through western Oklahoma?
yeah,
Yeah, yeah.
his Lambo.
No, if you want to see a scene that currently describes my life, it's that.
Oh yeah, the where are you at? Is that the rest stop on? Is that the way station?
It's Weatherford, Oklahoma. The entire town is under construction.
Oh yeah, yeah.
Lovely.
You've been drawing some heat. So in full transparency, this is John Matthews. He and I did some podcasting stuff. Hit and miss with my time with my former employer.
Before you got fired.
Before I got fired, apparently. And
hey, Chuck, I'm going to give you hope. I've been fired from them 3 times from Right Media, and they still hired me back.
So, John, this is Jeremy. Jeremy, this is John. And
John, good to meet you.
Good to meet you, Jeremy.
It's your Zoom, so we have to give you equal time.
No, I just want to come on and congratulate you guys bringing the band back together. I'm excited. This is going to be awesome seeing you guys.
It's the fun part. I mean, it really is, and you're always welcome to join us because you and I had a pretty good thing going, but your schedule's just really wacky, and I stepped back from my wacky schedule, so we should be good to go.
Oh no, life is good when you're retired. Not all of us can be the Chuck the Lawdog Ramsey.
So, John, you're a DFW kid. What's the fastest you ever drove on the North Dallas Expressway?
100, probably 110.
Were you in a leased Lamborghini? No.
No. I was in the old Cadillac back in the day with a bumper tied on by my one time I spent in jail was my bumper was tied on by I had clothes hangers, like wires. I had to keep it held apart. And I got pulled over for driving a vehicle that looked unsafe.
What year Cadillac was this?
Oh, it was probably I would say a 91, 92, maybe.
Oh. You were driving in 91?
No. What year Cadillac?
Vehicle. Okay.
Yeah.
I was hoping it was like a 70s or 60 or like a 70s Cadillac. Those were built like a Sherman tank.
Oh, yeah. If you ever noticed those old 70s Cadillacs, that there's a piece between the rear tail light and the trunk that's like a plastic molding. And I think everyone that I've ever seen, the old Eldorados, has lost that piece of molding between the chrome tail light and the body, and it's just kind of an empty
GM craftsmanship.
Yeah, hey, I want to get to know Jeremy for a second. The Chiefs hat. What's up with that? Are you just bandwagon 2 Super Bowls in a row? Here we are.
No, Steve DeBerg, sir.
Okay.
It's been a while. Some of my earliest memories are listening to the Chiefs lose home playoff games on the road back from Topeka, coming home to Oklahoma.
Are you a Nigerian Nightmare back? You go that far back?
Oh yeah.
Okoye?
The Nightmare, Barry Word. One of my favorite Chiefs players of all time is Benny Thompson. He didn't do anything. He was a special teamer, number 46. But anytime there was a fight anywhere on the field, he was right in the middle of it.
Back when football was for men.
Oh,
Did you see the Devils versus the who was it? The
Rangers
like 2 nights ago?
Yeah.
They just literally puck drop, start game.
5-guy fights.
Yeah. Does that not make you love hockey?
Yeah. You would think that I would be a huge hockey fan because I love stuff like that. I just never watch it. When is it on? What channel? I don't even know.
Well, I'm a Dallas fan.
Yeah, you have a local team. I don't. I'm an OKC Metro guy.
I became a Stars fan in '99 when they won that mega Game 7 against Buffalo. I was listening.
Mike Modano.
Wasn't Brett Hull on that team?
Yes.
Yeah.
Was that the Dominic Hasek Sabres?
Dominic Hasek at the Sabres, and that game went like 4 overtimes, I think, or something like that. John,
Shout
out! You should become a Knights fan. It's Jeremy. That's the bandwagon that most people.
That is the transient fan. Fandom. Every time I see so many Knights, so much Knights paraphernalia coming through the airport. I don't get it.
Yeah,
Jeremy, it's the middle of the desert. It's not.
Jeremy had these keeper for the airways, so he's clocking everybody that runs through the wheel.
You know, it's tough to see a lot of random hockey fans this far south, or I guess right in the middle, because we're in that hockey dead zone.
If I had,
we have maybe CHL.
Yeah, but thanks to the awesome corporate policy, I get to be blacked out for Dallas Stars games. Living here in Weatherford, Oklahoma. Great, I love it. Thank you.
You're within 500 miles of Dallas, so yeah, you can't watch. Sorry, go to the game.
What the Astros?
yeah, what a joke.
Hop in the helicopter and head down.
That was the case for the Astros when I was an Astros fan. They, Bally's or Fox Southwest, whoever they were, even if the Rangers were off and the Stars were off, whoever, you couldn't get an Astros game because you're within 500 miles of Houston.
Are you allowed to bring up the Houston Astros and not talk about what big cheaters they are? We're still that thing, right? We're still.
Rangers got one up on them now, so it's good. Everything's fine.
Yeah, Rangers got one, and I'm a huge Rangers fan. But what are they? Seven ALCS championships series in a row? Is that where they're at now?
But everything they got them series last year.
Everything windows, John, and the Astros window has shut, and the Rangers window is open.
It looked pretty good this year. It was nice to dominate the Cubs to open it up. Just kind of made you feel good about life.
You had to do that, didn't you?
Well,
yeah, the great tonic for getting hammered on by the Rangers to get to play a 4-game series with the Colorado Rockies. What an abysmal franchise.
Jeremy's a huge Cubs fan, and I've probably taken a bat to him about his fandom over the years several times.
I grew up attached to the WGN.
Yeah.
You ever sit on a rooftop?
No.
Never been
That's
either.
like
I think that'd be a cool stadium to go to, though.
bucket list, yeah.
Yeah, no doubt. No, the as far as baseball is concerned, did you see? I mean, look at it this way: you could either be a Oakland A's fan right now and get a ticket for like $1.
It's the A's because they're going to play in Sacramento. They're just the A's now.
Yeah.
No, sorry, the A's. Oh well, they're what, Vegas next year? 2 years? When are they moving?
I want to say 2025.
Yeah,
before they have a stadium ready.
I saw they put the chains on Tropicana in Vegas, so it's officially closed. Which that casino's been open forever, and I think that's where they're tearing down, and it's stadium building time.
So will they have to do a dome there just because of the heat?
I mean, they should, but I don't know.
You can't.
Maybe they'll do it like the Raiders stadium where it's open air on the sides and covered.
Oh yeah.
My wife is so mad at me. We went to opening day 2 years ago at the new stadium, 1 year ago. And I told her, she's always griping about hot it is. I was like, no, honey, they have a roof now. It's air conditioned. It's fine. And apparently there was some special flyover that was supposed to happen. So they left the roof open and we got sunburned and it was hot as could be. It's terrible. What's that?
Wasn't that tickets? Was that tickets from me and KSEY for that?
Probably. No, I don't pay for tickets. So yeah, they came for free from somebody.
I was
like, that's a rule I have.
That's the only way to go to ball games.
2 years ago,
yeah.
You pretty hard trying to become your friend. So I think I doled some tickets out to you, but
no, you could buy my friendship very easily. No, a bottle of vodka, a bottle of whiskey, maybe we can do, or maybe some free tickets to something and or a good steak. In fact, hey, check this out. Here's how you know you're fat.
Please be careful.
I think he's parked.
Oh,
they brought me. No, Vanessa's driving.
Hi.
They brought me. A guy brought me at the radio station today 2 slabs of ribs.
Are you?
Shout out to Bill.
Who did he do them himself? Because you can't buy good ribs.
I know these are. We should look at them. I know I'm not right now. I can't. Oh, okay. Here, let's do it. Oh, you know what? We're on video. Why not?
Are you in the Fiat?
Yeah, no. We're in the Ford. What is this thing?
It's the Ford Edge.
Ford Edge now. Okay. The yellow bug, the yellow bee, it hit a wall and it no longer functions.
I was worried about my Fiat insult earlier, so.
Oh no. You're good. You're good. Well, fellas, I want to jump on. Say congratulations.
Are y'all
bringing the band back together?
Are y'all in the Tom Stafford processional or something like that?
No, that's not till. That's not till the funeral starts at 10, and then at 2:00 is the graveside. So
you just cleared
that would be a little bit inappropriate, Chuck, don't you think?
Well, I mean, they're driving around Weatherford. I mean, and they're
a somber event, sir.
They're big. It's a big deal.
Yeah. So.
And it's been so long. I mean, it is somber. I'm with you on that, Jeremy. But I think it's more of a celebration, right? What a life he lived. How jealous are we?
I mean, when I put out the message about him soaring higher than any other Weatherford Eagle ever, I mean, that's literally and figuratively. All right.
Yeah, you stopped me on that one.
You guys enjoy your ribs.
Fellas, have a great day. Go Cowboys, by the way. I know I want to get on. I know we're not making any moves right now.
Draft.
What's that?
All in.
Who are they going to draft?
Listen.
Are they going
to draft Raiders? Hopefully an offensive lineman. That's the most important thing in football. And until every team realizes that, it makes no sense.
There's talk.
I think the most important thing is to give Dak $60 million a year for the next 5 years and set the franchise back even further.
Shut up, Jeremy. Stop. Stop. No. I've never thought $96 million in dead cap for not extending him is maybe the greatest thing we could spend.
Wow.
Yeah, you're probably right.
But here's what's going to happen. We're going to get Zeke Elliott back because that's going to be awesome.
So.
Yeah, but the price tag is going to be substantially lower than what Jerry gave him on his last contract.
Yeah, let's overpay for running backs because that seems to work out well in the NFL.
But now
Jerry hadn't made a solid move since 1997.
No,
but Jerry's company's worth about $600 billion.
but
So
who
That is
drafted
true.
Romo?
That is true.
When did
He
they
didn't
draft
draft Romo. He was an undrafted free agent that Parcells
Yeah.
brought in.
signed
Okay.
him up. And if Romo could just make a block on a field goal, we win the Super Bowl, an extra
Well,
point. While he's
If he had to catch the snap first.
Yeah.
well, okay, there's that. There is
Jon,
that.
man, take care, buddy.
See you guys. Have a great day. Happy life. Enjoy it.
Glad you
Thank
checked.
you.
See ya, Jeremy. Nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you too.
He's John Matthews, the voice of Western Oklahoma. He, along with Vanessa, and they are the Van and John show on the Coyote 95.5 in Weatherford, Clinton, and Elk City. And John is, man, Jeremy, he's DFW through and through. And I mean, and
that was awesome. I didn't think I was going to get to antagonize a Cowboys fan this
Yeah,
early in the day, but
that's-
I am energized now.
that's got to be a good sign for us bringing it back, right?
Yeah, because half the guys I work with are Dallas fans, and they talk so much crap all year. And I'm like, guys, just wait till the end. Just wait till the end. Just wait till the end.
I saw a video the other day that said Jets fans something or other, and they showed Aaron running in the flag and said,
And that was the season.
"But this is the highlight of your season."
Cut to credits.
Yeah. So, Dan Narva's been around. I don't know if he's busy or not. You want to see if he can jump in with us real quick, since it's
Sure.
kind of a soft opening. Let me dial him up, just see what.
I'm just reading some of his comments. Yes, she did raid Gene Simmons' shoe closet.
Yeah. Oh, I missed that one.
Yeah.
It all
We
comes
were talking
down to
about
who's got
Mulkey's
Mahomes.
platforms.
And we've got a ring.
Hello, anybody home?
Is this the residence of the Narvas?
I believe it is.
All right, Dan Narva,
It's
you're
the
live.
office.
You're live for the first time on the Lawdog Sports podcast, even though you've been a major contributor. How are you doing, buddy?
Hey, I'm doing good. It's Friday, What more can you ask for?
Jeremy had a question about the 1994 Chicago White Sox and their catcher situation. What was your recollection?
That was I know what their catcher situation was in 1994. It was Ron Karkovice.
Oh, it was, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Who's the goon that played
wow.
for them when they won the series over the Astros? Polish name.
Oh, you're talking about the catcher, AJ Przinsky?
Brzezinski. Yeah, that guy.
Yeah.
I hated him.
Yeah, he was all over the place. He was in with the White Sox for a long time, with the Twins. I think the Twins got him from the Giants. I don't know. I mean, but yeah, I think he was a beloved figure in Chicago.
So Dan, you're a Tigers fan, but man, you do a lot of work. You probably cover OU and Oklahoma sports better than Jeremy and I. So, man, you're kind of the money ball on this show.
It's kind of a high compliment,
So we had a question we were kicking around. Billy the Mountain.
I asked him his true age last week, so we can't do that on the air.
Well, no, I was asking about Billy the Mountain, the significance of the Twitter
Billy
handle.
the Mountain. Okay. Yeah, you shouldn't have asked. Anyway, so Billy the Mountain, my brother and I are Frank Zappa fans. So anyway,
did you name it Woodstock in '69?
What's that?
Nothing. I'm sorry, I'd be a smart aleck.
Anyway, so yeah, there's an old album of his. Let me see. It's called Studio Tan, I believe, and one of the last songs on there. There was some character. It was the name of the song was Gregory Peccary, but anyway, there was some reference to a Billy the Mountain in there. Yeah, but actually, Zappa, an older Zappa album actually has a song called Billy the Mountain, which I really wasn't familiar with. But anyway, so he his Twitter handle is like Snotty Boy, which is that's also a Zappa reference because there's a song, I think Joe's Garage album talks about snotty boys with lipstick on. Anyway, when I got onto Twitter after a long hiatus, I finally decided I'll try to make something with the Zappa reference. And I just appeared. And I wanted to surprise him too, so I popped on there and appeared silly.
I feel kind of bad for your family because you are pretty active on Twitter, and I'll never call it under its current name. But I think I guilted you into jumping back on.
Yes, you did. It's all your fault, man.
Chuck is just a bad influence.
I am a bad influence. And I actually got on Threads. I don't know what that means to anybody, but I don't really get
I never did.
I'm on it. So.
I never did either. Yeah, I kind of have it in for Zuckerberg. So
yeah.
Yeah.
What now? Your Instagram that we follow is it a Filipino name or something like that?
Suomi Tenango. Okay.
Suomi Tenango.
So
thanks for the
Which
pronunciation.
is a mishmash. Suomi is basically a that's what the Finlanders call themselves. That's the name of their country. And then the Tenango is kind of a nod to Guatemala. So because my son was born in Guatemala, we adopted him. So anyway, so I just kind of mashed them together, and I
Can
thought
you say it one more time for me?
Suomi Tenango.
Suomi Tenango. Okay,
so,
I'll.
So if you go down to Guatemala, you'll see all sorts of names like Chichi Castanango, Acatenango, whatever Tenango, right? So anyway, it's kind of a nod to Guatemala.
Is Guatemala, or is it another country in the other hemisphere that's got Lake Titicaca? Is that a Peruvian deal?
That one.
That isn't.
I don't know.
Where's Titicaca?
Does Jeremy know that one?
I should know that.
Did Ecuador? Claudia may be mad if you don't know that Titicaca is in Peru.
Hold on. It says it's in South America.
Lake Titicaca.
All right.
I think Beaver said that one.
It's in the Andes, border of Bolivia and Peru. Yes.
Okay. Titicaca. All right. So Suomi Tenango. All right.
Yeah.
Well, listen, Dan, sports related.
I mean, I
comment.
I could always change my name if you don't.
No. I wanted consistent pronunciation is all. So if I shout you out, I don't sound. I'm not saying it wrong. And as an announcer, that is the cardinal sin: is if you ever get somebody's name wrong. And in fact,
unless you're Harry Carey, then you can get away with it. Aruba.
Hey guys, just in all full disclosure, I embarrassed myself last week calling a baseball festival. The Elk City Elks were playing and they won, and I was kind of doing color commentary with the guy who was doing some play-by-play to help us, and so I jumped in with him, and at the end I did the full Elks win. Elks win.
Hey.
And he may have made a mention about a cold bud. I don't know, but in high school. But so Jeremy and I were talking, Dan, and we'll probably delve into baseball more upcoming. But right now, I know you're probably pretty optimistic about your Tigers, but really above everything else, I mean, there's talk that the Lions could be a serious contender for the NFC next season.
Well, I mean, one would hope so, right? That anything else would be a letdown at this point. But nobody else. I don't know if anybody really expected the Lions to make it that far. They did finish pretty strong the previous season in 2022.
Sure.
I think they started off horrible, like 1-6 or whatever.
And that's the funny thing about the NFL is there's teams at times that just start out so terrible, and then they can put together a nice streak and be a. Go ahead, Jeremy.
News of the ridiculous. Breaking news from Shams Charania, The Athletic.
Yeah.
Bronny James has declared for the NBA draft.
Oh, wow.
Oh, really?
Hold on.
Yeah.
What happened to my breaking news? Where's my breaking?
Yeah. You average 3.2 points a game at USC and makes you ready for the NBA, right? What are we listening? What are we waiting for?
Jeremy Schroeder.
It's a news break.
And now a news update. Jeremy
This is
Schroeder
us.
news. Bronny James. So
Sound
he
effect, I like
was in the portal. Now he's declared
Yes.
draft.
And the best place for him to be was in the portal. I don't know who advised him that trying to jump into the
Dad
NBA.
advised him. I know who advised him. I don't even have to
Well,
question it.
then Dad's delusional.
Well, yes, he is. But he knows he can dictate his next destination based on, or he may just force the Lakers to take him.
So he's going to get to play what? He'll be a two-way at the best.
Oh yeah.
So he'll get to play a couple games
He'll
with
get on the
Dad, and
court.
then once Dad retires, he'll just filter right out of the league.
Yep. So
Nepo, baby.
big time. And that's the story of our world. But
Mm.
hey, Dano, I'm going to have to let you go, bud. We're going to be cutting out of here in a minute, but man, thanks so much for taking some time and coming on with us. And I just want to tell you, thank you so much for your support, buddy, because there's times, you know, and I'll frequently use the gif of Kramer on the Seinfeld episode where he had the Merv Griffin set in his apartment.
Oh yeah.
And it's basically how this feels at times. But you know, guys like you and Steve Anderson and several of our other friends that jump on here all the time and show us some support and give us some traction, it does not go unnoticed, and we appreciate you very much.
Well, you know, you guys are actually funny as heck. You know, just the world doesn't know it yet. You know, and so
well,
the world doesn't know it. My wife doesn't know it.
Yeah,
she doesn't think I'm funny at all.
This, so. But Dan, you take care of yourself. Have a good weekend, buddy.
You bet. I'll be your best evangelist. Okay.
Well, you're an
well,
amazing.
thanks, Dan.
Have a great weekend, everyone.
Take care, buddy. Dan Narva from Michigan. And Jeremy, we've got a few minutes here before we got to cut out, but yeah, so that's some, you know, we're doing a soft opening here, and the breaking news comes out with that. So
just man, I feel bad for the kid.
Yeah,
I mean, he's been through the ringer this year, and then being pushed into that. You can't tell me it was the best thing for him is to go somewhere, and
he should have transferred to. I thought I saw somebody have
Ohio State.
Yeah,
anywhere to get out of Dad's spotlight.
Yeah,
get away from.
Kind of develop your own thing, but you know, sadly, as we look at this, his dad is by far not the worst. By far not the worst sports dad, because
he's involved.
And, you know, it seems like Ball out there talking smack all over the place.
It seems like he's very supportive of his kids, and I'm not talking trash about LeBron for that. It's just he's simply not good enough right now. He's just not.
And I think when I look at the whole picture, and we kind of talked about this with you know, talking about the Angel Reese situation earlier. When I take a look at LeBron and the totality of it, I probably hate his supporters more than I hate him.
That's true. And you know, Jordan's kids weren't great, but he didn't push it. You know, they played at several different. One of them played at Illinois, one of them played at UCF. The only one that was any good is Jimmy Butler.
Again,
well, go ahead and look up that conspiracy theory.
I'm not looking that up. I can tell you right now, I'm not looking.
Jimmy Butler is a biological son of Michael Jordan.
All right.
You can't tell me otherwise.
Well, I tell you, it's just one of those things where, I mean, I don't know the kid, don't have any bad thing about him. Just, I'm sure, you know, I'll say this, as far as star athletes, yep, there it is. Now Woj got it. Woj, who got it out first though? Woj or
Shams?
Shams. Wow, got scooped by the Athletic.
Yep.
That must be a living hell for Woj.
Yeah, well, he'll survive.
So okay, so he's gonna make himself eligible for the draft, but he's not gonna hire an agent because he'll keep his eligibility if he goes undrafted.
Right. So hopefully he doesn't get drafted and he goes and he needs games. He needs to play ball. That's
who are the teams that would look at it and say, you know, take the kid and get him on, like you said, two-way player, and then see if we can loop Dad in.
Well, you got a 40-year-old dad who doesn't have much time left. And he's still a very good player.
Dropped 40 the other
But
night.
yeah,
I mean,
eventually
you say he doesn't have, and I get what you're saying, but I mean, obviously this guy has, obviously the league has formed around his skill set.
Well, do you want to put all the eggs in a basket that can't get a Lakers team past the play-in tournament?
I'm just saying, ticket sales and stuff like that. I mean,
Yeah.
and a team, and also a team that may have some pieces in place. I don't know.
Well,
I mean,
yeah. Hey, I liken it to the Jets signing Aaron Rodgers, picking up Aaron Rodgers, and Achilles tendons get brittle when you get that age, and there goes your season.
no, and that's another thing. Like Kobe, he had before in his last few seasons, he had an Achilles tear. LeBron never dealt with that, and that's kind of
Not yet. I
Yeah.
mean, it's not if but when at this point with the wear and tear that, and not to I'm not ragging on him, but that's
No,
just how the
saying
human body works. Is just
exactly.
you get brittle as you get older. I don't care how much HGH you allegedly have taken.
Speaking of HGH, have you seen all of the backbiting towards Adolis Garcia as of late on social media?
Adolis Garcia,
El
the
Bombi,
pitcher, or
man,
no,
he's taken a beating in since the opening of the season. Hits a home run, all of a sudden, they're comparing head size, from a year ago.
has he been caught? He's been caught before, hasn't he?
Maybe. I mean, but
wasn't he one of the ones that missed 80 games in the minors?
oh, I'd have to look that up. That could be. So on the way out, Jeremy, what are we looking at this week? This weekend, we got the Final Four for both men and women. The NBA playoffs are starting to shape up and probably hit a spot. Oh my gosh, there's an Angel Hernandez clip on Twitter.
I can't believe he's still in the league.
My goodness. And how did I miss this when we had Dan Narva on? It's a Tigers Mets clip, and Hernandez. Oh my gosh. I'm going to share it. You can see it real quick.
Okay.
Just before we get out of here. But so what's gonna be the Schroeder prime viewing of the weekend?
Man, let's see. Probably maybe some UFL or UXFL, whatever the hell it's called now. I don't even know. Got Thunder tonight.
It's bad. Yeah, Thunder tonight, and they are at Indy?
Yes.
That's another team that will present a lot of rebounding challenges for them.
Well, if I'm not expecting to win tonight, I think SGA and J-Dub are still dealing with bumps and bruises, so they're probably going to sit again.
It says
so.
Out.
I mean, that's a team that they could beat without those two guys, but I don't expect it to happen.
One thing we didn't mention, and we should have, and one of my former podcasting, sports talk partners, Jared Porter, who is up in Tahlequah now, but he was he's a big Thunder fan, and he was in on this endeavor with me back in 2015. He's really ridden Giddey hard. Is it deserving? I know he's played better of late, but I mean, is Giddey a liability for that team?
Giddey's still he's barely 21 years old. I mean, he's still so young, and he has played a lot better lately.
Insert statutory rape joke here.
I just want to, his skill set and Shai's skill set tend to overlap. So them being on the floor together can, cancel one of the others out, and Shai's the lead dog. So
yeah. Well, and it'll be interesting going into the playoffs, and like I said, I gripe that it's scripted, but it is kind of interesting to see, some new. I mean, if the Thunder make an extended playoff run, that's freshness, bro.
Get past the first round. Just get past the first round. Show some. So I mean, yeah, we've seen so much improvement. I mean, they were in the 1 seed 3 days ago.
Yeah.
And they were a play-in team last year.
OSU hires a new basketball coach to replace Mike Boynton, Coach Lutz, and from Western Kentucky.
Yes, Hilltoppers.
Hilltoppers is from this point on, it's just going to be mid majors moving up to Power 5. You'll never see. I mean, I guess assistants. I don't know. I mean,
well, Oklahoma State's got a huge NIL problem.
Yeah,
and all of college basketball outside of insert your blue bloods, oil money schools here. And that's just, Oklahoma's got to replace an entire roster this year again.
Yeah.
A bunch of mid majors are moving up. SMU will be in the ACC. Who else is coming over here to the 12? I guess
Arizona,
it's Pac-12
Utah,
teams.
Colorado, and Arizona State. Which that brings up a good question. So, OU will be in the SEC, as we could see by your trophy case behind you that you're a serious OU fan. Who's going to be your Big 12 team?
You had to ask me that.
Sun Devils.
Yeah, maybe Sun Devils.
I can't.
No, I'm sorry. I had the Utah.
Utah. Yeah.
The Utes.
Okay.
It's always been a guilty pleasure, like Kansas State. I like watching them play football. So We'll see how the basketball team is.
And I had a cool clip. So I'll probably be. I mean Texas Tech because of the fact that we used to be on in Tech territory, and I still have some radio connections with that.
You're going to wear the shirt of the band you're going to go see.
Don't be that guy.
I was digging out the old clips and actually,
what a great movie.
I had Ute from because what is a Ute? But
for what? Arresting me for what? I'm not allowed to stand up for myself. I thought this was America. Huh? America? I'm sorry. I thought this was America.
And then one of my favorites, let's see. David S. Pumpkins. It must be hard for you to hear it. Sorry about that.
I couldn't hear that last one.
AP Parnas. So, anyways, so we've covered just about everything we can in a soft opening. Michael Irvin was trending and on there or something.
For what?
Oh yeah, Dan Narva mentioned, and I saw this earlier. One of my favorite teams, UTEP, to the Mountain West Conference. They're out of the Conference USA. I think 19 years is what I saw.
Yeah.
But
who's filling the void in the AAC for Southern Methodist, and who else is jumping?
Oh, well, Houston is already gone. Has already been
Yeah.
gone.
Is Texas San Antonio gonna
I
fill
think
into one of those?
I think they do make the move up.
Yeah.
Just looking at it on the outside. So as it shows right now on their website, UAB, dang it, who's that? Is that Georgia Southern, one of them? East Carolina, Florida Atlantic, Memphis, Navy, North Texas, Rice, South Florida, Temple. Did Temple make a move?
I have no idea.
UTSA, Tulane. Is Tulane moving into anything?
I don't think so. I think they stayed. I think they stood where they're at.
Tulsa and Wichita State, which I think Wichita State is just basketball.
Yes.
Yeah. So AAC changed, and their website still shows SMU. So, Army, that was one. Who is that team there? Oh, Charlotte, North Carolina, Charlotte.
Oh, okay.
The 49ers. So anyways, but then Conference USA will just kind of be in shambles. But really, I mean, the Sun Belt has shown a lot more competitiveness in college football than what Conference USA has over the past 2 or 3 years.
None of this matters. Eventually, it's going to be whatever the Power Three.
It's Premier League soccer.
Yeah, and the rest of these Group of Five or whatever it is now, they're going to be on their own.
Yeah. Well, Jeremy, it's been fun, buddy, and we'll set up everything for the big reunion. This, like I said, this was kind of a soft opening to kind of get the kinks worked out and come on the air. I don't even know if I'll keep it on the Facebook page very long, but we'll see.
All right.
But it will be here for a while. But I tell you, one of the things, like I mentioned, was as as much of a appreciation as I got for developing the relationships of coaches and players and things out here in Western Oklahoma. Uh, Putting together a daily sportscast wasn't quite the fun that this is, and it's just fun to be silly and stupid and talk
Right.
all kinds of mess. So I'm glad you were willing to come back and jump in with us, for us to get this going again. And we'll see where it can go, and maybe in this current atmosphere we can really get something going. So appreciate you and have a great weekend, my friend.
Oh, you too, sir.
All right. He's Jeremy Schroeder. I'm Chuck Ramsey, the Law Dog. This has been the Lawdog Sports Big Weekend Show. We'll be back next Friday at 9 a.m. for the big reunion premiere. This, like I mentioned, was a soft opening. So we'll talk to you real soon on Lawdog Sports.